Kale nkwandiza tati muyolale ku Baba TV tutandise obudakika buyiseko butono bwe buti oliyotana gyosinzira okulaba mputugafu kwa Baba TV n'emputu gyaffe gyonna egya YouTube, Twitter, Facebook ne walala nga bulijjo buli lwakuna sawa 3 paka 5 nange Simon Muyanga Lutaya ne Joseph Tamale Mirundi buterevu nga tuyita mu nsonga enkulu eziri mu ggwanga lyaffe n'olwaleero obwo kyo wetuli Abaganda baga nti omukalukalu tajja busera bwakwata ekyo kyakisa mutama natandika okuwutanya wakizwe kizeeno kanange lero ninde okulaba Joseph Tamale Mirundi mukwano gwa Jeno Muhoozi Kainerugaba bwawutanya ebintu bino bamukwatidde mu ggolo wakati omuntu wo Mirundi
but for you don't analyze why it is an isolation. Did the Kenya abuse Kenya?
Kenya, the former vice president.
Did the Mbabas abuse Kenya?
No, they didn't.
Did the BSC abuse Kenya?
No.
Yes.
How do you relate those to Muhoozi? Muhoozi.
A succession, Muhoozi in the way. See, if Muhoozi was another person, this is a succession battle. Yes.
How?
And I'm telling you. Nze navumani avuma abantu ngamba vumira kibanja kya kitange okuba defending kwe kunjo okamunkanyuke kasasiro mfune 1.7 million ne program zange zo nane muzijjako. This is how
does the succession battle go to Kenya?
Anti nkubulidde kyenkubulira you wait because we call it situation evaluation. What makes me different is that I evaluate. Muhoozi bamubaddeko babadde bamunoonya si kyekisoose buli muntu yenna gwe baagala okujooga kuba mu gavumenti mulimu kankusomerewa akataba kalaba
oyagala kusoma.
Let me tell you
this is
anti wulira
Jeno Muhoozi yenyini ye yakoze ekintu kye. How do you blame anybody else?
I'm telling you nti bamubaddeko always bwe yingira amaje bagamba ki. And I wrote a book.
Ayanguye mangu, bamukoziza mangu.
Museveni agenda kusiku. One day, we went to a press conference. I saw Muhoozi driving a military jeep in the military fatigue. I asked the president a question. Are you grooming your son like a Kemu Iru son? Museveni said, how? Where have you seen him? This Muhoozi of mine. Muhoozi is a local defense man at Kassing.
Local defense.
When Gaddafi came here, promoted him to major. What did they say? To Muhoozi. At that time, when Gaddafi promoted him to major.
What Gaddafi Yamudusa, it was not yet ready.
Yes. What was the time? When Muhoozi carried out, led a successful mission in Galamba against Kony, Bagant, it was a public relations exercise for the first son. Nyai follow chronological events. Nti Kenya abatamivu abasajja batano banyu omwenge mu bbala bugenda okera ku makya ng'abana bafu nayo eyali asigaddewo yakomawo mu kirabo okunywa omwenge. The guy, you mad? I'm not mad. If the beer we drank here was poisonous, nange nalibadde mufu. Bano bwe bavudde wano balina ewala gye banywedde gye basanze okwabasse. That's how Kenya decided to get another coup.
Abaganda baga nti ne gwoyagala omusalira omusango ne gumusinga n'omuliyirako.
No.
Muhoozi singize kamwaka yakasasiro ganga.
That one would be in conclusion. Nti bonna babakubye. Wali munda mu government akubaba nenti ayagala kusika.
Naye ono yeekubye. Muyirundi we are not agreeing on that.
Monitoringa kazibu bamuwulira. Bakuba kazibwe. Ndikazi bwagambye enteze wase artificial insemination nedda kazi bwagambye abantu bali emiyembe. When these people bakolanga foxes mu national
nabanja natugamba tuozese ebiro niba baba byogedde they quote
baba kolaki ono yasosa okwemula. So therefore me am different and this is what has made me nti I predict
you are misleading
different political science. I'm going to start a political science institute ngabantu bajja nembasomesa analyzing issues nti today nabagamba nti mugenda kulwanagana why Where do we get successors to the president? The first
the political
priority,
parties groom.
No.
The political
first priority, editing president. The first priority when he has the influence to choose a successor. Because there are two scenarios.
Where you have the influence to choose.
Where I cannot choose a successor. Kakati Museveni bamubala. What are the catchment areas of a successor? One, the palace. Mu family mu musobola okujamu omuntu nga Baukulu Kinyatta.
Nemuvaamu
musika.
Ngaba bagandi kanti already wa Museveni eriyo babiri. Ngaba
Bushi. First priority kubanga mmwe mugenda okubeera orphans, mugenda okubeera the bunching bags of the new regime. Therefore, the first family must think about, can we promote one of us? Kakati mu family ya Museveni, the easily marketed person would be Muhoozi. Ono mulala ayagala tebayinza abantu bayika mu luguudo nadduka ajoze nnyo abantu. Beba akataka, beba nachopa, beba zimulaba, mbalaba mu meeting. Bajijeko. Baduse.
Masanyalazi.
Kakati bajijeko tayita jigumikiriza lwa bwogo. Baduse. Bajijeko. The palace has lost the succession battle because the only marketable person who could attract the attention to the public either was not mentored well oba abala asakambinze ku balabe bintu babadde bamulondoola every public. And that's why the opposition has ganged up. Museveni made a strategic decision, promote him, and then apologize because the two are different. This is his opinion. His opinion. Why did he allow somebody to go on tweets? Therefore, you know.
That's why I wanted us to concentrate on this. Knowing, for example, Tamale Mumaje, Bannamaje tebakiziwa kwogera naye Muhoozi ayogera freely.
Tweeting, you must have handlers. Nabaga nti a handler and an advisor are different. A handler tells you, ekyo tekyogera. When Bush retired and brought his son, Bush Jr., he brought to Chine, an old man, to handle his son. Now
let's look at this case. Could it be that Muhoozi's handlers messed up his tweet account?
The palace is torn apart.
How do you relate this to palace?
Because the palace produced two uncompromising candidates, Muhoozi and another person, the palace has lost a candidate. The first family has lost a candidate who could be marketed. They didn't see this. That meant him. Nti omukazi bwategeera nti baawe musiraamu abaana be ne baba banywa omwenge abayita, please stop eating pork and drinking beer. Why? You'll be disqualified. Women mentor their children for future. Omwana ne bwaba akweka ebintu n'abikweka kubanga if you say nti omwana yankuba anasikira atya kitaawe. So therefore, kakati the first family has lost a candidate that he could be easily marketed because he didn't look at this.
Let us first of all agree nti Muhoozi ayina ensobi gye yakoze ebigambo teyabibaze oba yabigenderedde
tebamutunuulira nga Crown Prince nti gundi Muswati bamujja wano bamujja
ani amentalinga ba Crown Prince no
first family gets a priority to produce a leader,
and they have a priority. They have two good candidates.
Anti Diodita Tunda atono yakubi onu. They failed to agree on who to promote. Ndikano koka kagende kayingire mu home. Chiruba bwe yali agenda okufuuka president yakwata mukazi we n'amutwala bamusomese how facilities behave. Muswati was taken to Britain. Mutesa was taken to Britain to be modeled.
Muhoozi was taken to Sanders.
Yes, and nkubuulidde n'afuna abalabe bangi era nzigenda kikulaga kakati nekugamba, where do you get another success of the president in the party like Chama cha Mapinduzi? NRM cannot produce a candidate. No. Ani kubanga Yes.
Ogisamalize nga yonna
temuli anti boy sobije bakola. When Mbabazi tried to propel himself into power using the party structures, Museveni we come away as neutralizing. Apart from by-elections, where a political party, so the secretariat is a political bureau. All of the brains in the country must be at where we would be seeing policies originating from the planning authority and the secretariat.
Now, let us go like this. For heaven's sake, the palace another candidate basatu. The palace another basatu. Bawulirize.
Tobogera. The meeting in Ziraba.
Kale kanjogereko babiri.
Yes.
Eriyo Nobert Mao ne Muhoozi.
You see first family. Mao is a neutralizer.
Mao is the son of the president. Now, is there.
What are the catchment areas in politics? I've told you. The Gandhis, the Kenyatas, the Bushes, because the politics is a name and the money.
So the first family always has an opportunity to produce a successor.
If you cannot produce a successor, akusikira retiring president, muguruminga, through the party tewali, enali mutaina candidate, through government temuli. The person, the man who is
who messed
the president,
up according to you?
The prime minister of Ethiopia, Bamuja New York, was their representative in New York. At one time, Mokapa was the foreign minister. You groom.
So can't we make Muhoozi foreign affairs minister now? To have an opportunity to make his relation.
Kakati, what is another catchment area? Retiring presidents can rebrand their former adversaries, but it is costly. This is why Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to ensure the vice versa kwata. Nakugamba nti ne gundi ne Obasanjo foutu atiku. Eyo ekiti kikula obomazo mulaba.
So Kenyatta wanted Raila to be the choice of the first family in this case.
Protect their chi. The interest too. You must give somebody who can attribute his success. That's where Mao comes in. A person who can attribute his success to you.
The first family.
Kubanga is not an agreed position of the first family. This is Museveni's initiative. That's why the same people fighting Mao to create trouble in his party. Era singa Mao yeshisira muntu gena mweyala bali badde bamukubye.
Yabadde awedde.
Kyovolaba aka monitor kakubye katumbi nga Museveni afumise UPC kitale mabega. Stupidity. Why? UPC is haunted by the
abantu tubayita OCAK.
Kakati
boganti akantu.
Libulani your adversaries leke Mbabazi leke Mugisha Muntu is not possible.
Why? Can't the state
opposition Bobi Wine jajiremerako. Nobody can hand over power to Bobi Wine.
What are you saying?
Yes. Tewali agenda ku hand over power to Bobi Wine.
What is the alternative?
I want to tell you.
What is the alternative?
Bobi Wine bajja mulemezako biro byonna bye bakola bya kulemezako Bobi Wine who is not marketed. Do you mind when you send important money entering a lodge with your wife anakozesa fingers?
I don't want to debate that one, but now let us look
at Bobi Wine is an important one. Much as the Biakola is on a self-destruction mission.
No, he's progressing actually.
Taina. Kakati
ngababadde babiri n'omwana.
Nti mukataboka mukubye oli ali wagulu. Anti Museveni agenda kulemerawo. This is what you are saying. And Museveni agenda kulemerawo akomawo.
Okomawo.
Akomawo. Read my book. Watete nalimba nkozeke kinde kitayitamu. I've written a book.
Nti mwami Museveni ayinza okutaswala mu 2006 nasaawa erinnya.
Akomawo.
2006.
Anti nkubuulira. Nti Kenyatta became Prime Minister of Kenya at the age of 77. How old is Museveni? Kibaki became President of Kenya at the age of 77.
Naye tetuswalako.
Reagan became President of US at the age of 75. And the leaders become pragmatic in old age.
But would you advise him to come back?
Yes. And in monarchical societies, omukulembeze tebamukyawa. Reforms, delivering services, akwate ku corruption y'abasibalabe, ababba ssente z'abantu. You rebrand yourself, you reinvent yourself. Akwate ku corruption endulu zivuge.
Singa bulijjo bwe yasukide mu Muhoozi Mutale wasukira ne mu balala. Obuli awo kyali wanguyidde. Ne mugambe bwe mubeereyo. Tadda mu 2026 tukoleko ku birala. Adda kuliki.
Ati mwekubye mwekka kati nkubuulira. Ndikana katabana kawandiika dde nkubuulire problem gye munyi.
Sunday 5th March 2020.
Nabagamba.
Residency ni Zana.
Nabagamba. Nti waliwo kye tuyita akazu. This book.
The book is called How Akazu Politics Ruins Countries. Akazu.
Nakugamba nti akazu. The political term akazu. A proliferation faction within government or a political party entered the political vocabulary from Rwanda. As stated in my introduction, the Hutu, who are a majority tribe in Rwanda, carried out a successful revolution against the Tutsis, who were the ruling minority. Majority of the Tutsis fled into exile as the victorious Hutu, like any other victor, moved against the vanquished. Okitegeera? Kakati nenkugamba nti ekintu kino akazi twakijja mu Bayibuli. The moment human beings remain without an enemy, they fight together. As long as a hostile person threatened the palace, bali tebalwanagana, they were united. Kakati babanza okuba buli muntu nani bajoga ne sente ne batugane tugenda bane batuzunza ne betunuulira bokka. Ne beekuba. The battle originated from the palace. Bakandisi bali awo. Formidable ones.
So, kale, yo mu lubiri evolutalo.
Nenkugamba nti akazu. I believe it is a curse that originated from the scriptures. The Bible says that the first family on earth, belonging to Adam and Eve, had only 4 members. However, a serious quarrel that resulted into Abel's death. I think Abel's case was the first death reported on earth. In my opinion, Abel's death did not involve competition of a woman or wealth, because the only woman at the time was their mother. They could not fight over their mother. However, if Adam's family faced survival threats from enemies, the fear and the battle against the enemy would have united the 2 brothers. The human nature, to the moment you remain here together, situli basoga, yes, kakati buga nti atono wawa. Era mwekutula munti wawa, nga muli basoga mwekka. Ndio nawagira wa kyabazingo ono wawa onawagira kyabazingo wawa
nga muri basoga kiri mu nju ya
but if the basoga are threatened you forget about this
mwana
mukuboolya ajja nti when UPC after UPC destroying the Democratic Party the battle entered the UPC.
So kati gwe nga mukwano gwa Muhoozi wamuyambye otya?
Ati kyenkubuulira I've been telling
because if he says he not mentored in Mukwano, have you not been mentoring him? He's your very good friend.
Whether Muhoozi, this is bwe tuba tusoma intelligence nga tusoma terrorism tukubuuza what are the tukwata omuyonga ne tukugamba who has done it? Is it Al-Shabaab or Al-Qaeda? They have their hallmarks. Nti by the time they killed the people here, Secretary of Government, nti as Bob Wine parades, his widows and orphans. Don't we have orphans and widows?
You cannot parade yours because Bobby Wine is parading people you have orphaned and widowed. Yes.
Who killed Kawesh? Who killed Kirumira? Who has been harassing me? Hiring thugs to kill me, targeting my wife. Who killed the innocent girls?
Who answer? So who killed?
Kakati nakugamba.
Bobby Wine nakugamba. Tayaga nti njagala banda mwandu mugwana njagala banda mwandu government ya mwebefude banda mwandu ne bamulekwa.
Omusajja mwenye Sepriane Ekwensi yawandika ekitabo The Great Ponds. Abanaije ebyalo bibiri byalwanira ebidiba. Nga buli kimu kyagala kidominating engegezaamu. Kakati tebatandika okufana abeeno ne bafa. One group went to apologize to the other. Baba tuukeringa na bano bazika mu lujja balaba graves ne bagana naffe tubadde tujja wamu kakati as this man parades widows, don't we have widows?
No, the issue is not widows. The issue is how have those people become widows.
So therefore, it means there is a force that kills all of us. There is a force, an underground force, that kills all of us. The first family would have agreed on one candidate. Never agreeing and never going to Crown Prince on a candidate worth. Never more about handlers and the mentors.
Mr. Museveni seems to send yet a bothering on who the successor should be. Yaros and enemy take out systems that will create a successor.
When Bashir is in the prison, when Mugabe survived, when Dos Santos has died in the prison, doesn't it tell Museveni that these are visions from God? What happens? That's why.
So mwabagamba kuma mutesiza ne Katonda muri sure that the power is
a problem. Kakati, that's one. Two, because they have no handlers and the strategists. This is how Bobi Wine beats them. The Bobi Wine used a government party. NUP was a government party. And the
you have said that always, but I don't understand.
Yes, it's a fact. How did he get it? When it was Kojo, a known, a close, a gun, and about the electoral commission, Chamita Kochi just selling. Never get any woman was maintaining. No, never in a mass, near nominating an avant to buy young cases in the court. Every twins are bidding by Isoba Katabas. Bunch it again. It takes 14 days to advertise a party, a delegates conference. You have a man who is desperately looking for a party.
No, they bought a party which had already gone through those processes.
Yes, was. No. Balanga delegates conference where he was chosen. Katabazi
was also involved.
Anti Yiso Yarabirawa. Until there is a man who Kubanga, people power. Gundi Barugahari yali registered to deny him. Ngatama yinti akolera bana ate bagenda mu party endala. Bobi Wine rang me at 6. My brother, I've got a party. Congratulations. I had to do it early. Kuba manyi wali bwe kijja. Congratulations. Ask him whether he denies.
So munyumya. You confuse people. Today you are with Bobi Wine, the other day you are with Muhoozi, you are with everyone. How do you balance?
Nenkugamba nti you see that's one. Nenkugamba nti Bobi Wine yabakubira ku party. Bobi Wine n'abakuba nti namwe mwina kabuli ewammwe nete mwabye nyimbe ye Bobi Wine aleta abantu be and Bobi Wine's people were killed during a riot. Katumba's daughter not in riot. My son was battered not in a riot. I've never staged a riot.
Laba Bobi Wine siba riot iboka abamwe bana badroniza mwezi somba nezitwala
president wegwanga naje nagati oyo mukubi webikondo fetwa museo kan president admit using extrajudicial measures
Mirundi mwaswadde
kakati
omwana yaleta bannamwandu nga balinga 10 bali awo bamuleka balinga bameka
nemuleta drones
drone chezi
why don't you want to identify yourselves? Use the police. Central Ruja. Everybody come discrediting a police never do because Yiso cannot handle crime. Yiso's role is to detect a criminal. Gondi name Mukwata. Yiso's evidence cannot stand in the court. 2. The constitution does not allow torture. So anybody who appears in the court tortured, the judge, a brave judge, must dismiss the case
immediately because it starts it starts on a wrong ground.
Yes,
you are bringing a man who is already tortured. But I think those things don't work. They work elsewhere.
The system is where ziri naye pabaganda tukuganta lunata wakaba muzibachi nyindo no stirs the nostrils of this government are blocked.
Nyindo tekyawunyiza naye wadde tekyawunyiza.
Why? Ntinana jawabwe. They are not fearing a new person. Anajana yewabwe, they are sure. One of the reasons kankubulire.
Even when you know that the nostril is no longer work, you want to be some seven come back. I don't talk about dead people.
Go to Tumukunda and ask him. He was assigned to go and help Moi to win the elections. When he was there, he saw that ministers were resigning en masse. Every day he was appointing ministers. Tumukunde went and talked to Nicholas Mirundi. You people, you are losing power. Why does it say drop Uhuru Kenyatta to save the government? Nicholas Mirundi, yamusajja yali alowooza nti government bw'abamutta. Ko buli kibi kyonna Kenya bakiteeka ku ye. When time was traveling from London to Nairobi, agenda kutuuka Nairobi nga Musinde Muliro opposition leader gw'abadde atudde naye mufu. Ne bamugaa ye yatta obuko muli bako mu kkomera. Ne bamugaa yatta akawala kabakayita paaka nga bakayita mu national park. Buli kintu kyonna Kenya nga bakiwaayirizaana. Nicholas Mirundi. But Nicholas Mirundi tovola abantu Tumukunde yagende wanika. Nicholas Mirundi yamugamba nti young man, you don't know Kenya more than us. We know we are going to lose the election. But he added, in every country's history, there must come a time when one group that has been holding in power surrender that power to another group for the country to continue. That
is exactly the time. Mirundi,
don't give us lectures. Mirundi, don't give us this time Jesus. Has come for Kenya.
You have said it. No, you have said it. No, let me say. There comes a time when one group that has been handling power
must surrender it to another group.
That is the time. The time is now. Thank you for realizing that. Let us do that now.
It to a friendly force?
Don't mind.
Or not just surrender.
Just surrender. We shall see what.
From Uganda, omusikazi bw'abatazaala nga baawe mugagga waakiri akimu omwana wa mwennyina senga bafumba n'omwana wa mwennyina bakuuma obugagga bwabwe.
So kikyotegeeza.
The question is not to hand over power. To who? Kyenna bagambanga nti mukubya abatembeeyi mubajje mu kibuga. These people mu kibuga mulimu abalonzi million 2. You are surrendering 2 billion to Besigye. What are you going to benefit by leaving a clean city to Besigye?
You mean Besigye will kill the city?
Mufaki, mufuna muki. To leave a clean state to
leave the city. The city is ours.
All our systems, all our human beings, all our institutions must fight for self-preservation.
So we get to call her. Mwekwe kunoza nti muteekwa okulowoleza muyanga n'abaana be n'abazzukulu and your regime mugende ebirala tujja bikola waliwo ne bye baakola nga temunnajja. Just wind up your business.
Get power, consolidate it, retain it. That's why even in advanced countries, highly advanced countries, the Clinton must work for Aliko.
Get power.
Consolidate it. Retain it. Follow control.
Okay, now this is what we are doing.
Yes.
This is what we are doing. Rig power. Use drones.
Yes.
Confuse everyone.
And in Kubolira, nti NRM ebadde jja nekwata abantu ku kyalo mwatekawo LC system. What is wrong with the policeman to go to the village? N'agamba tunoonya Mirundi. Ne bamugamba nti tumututte wano. Kakati drone zo zibatwala mu safe houses. Kakati nga Jejje Oddo nga ajja mu parliament ng'ayogera tubalina. Bali ludda wa? Tobalina gwe. Admit tobalina and compensate these people. Era nze mbagamba n'ekigambo yiso mu kijjewo. Ebere SMG. Yes, SMG.
Special what?
Security monitoring group. Eche chigambo chibewo chiri tainted. Yiso is tainted. The word is tainted. Narufenya is tainted. Mujitume former criminals rehabilitation center. Chivewo. Propaganda tuchijawo.
Criminal rehabilitation center.
Narufenya chibirewo ddala. Hand over the
CRC.
Yes, hand over the power to the police to arrest. Buy vehicles. Why do you use our drones? The people now fear to enter our drones, the tax operators.
Ebyo byagala okukola government eddako byegenda okukola. Nsonga tuga nti mwe mugende abajja bakole ebyo.
Anti kyenkubuulira.
Nalufenya cannot remain Nalufenya. Change name.
Anti nkugambye eno government ekyalina mandate. Why don't we reform? What's wrong with reforming? Kubanga I've told you nti polisi bagiyingiramu abamanyi even when Kayibula was still Gundi Inspector General of Police amaje galimu mu police have we had a sort of
yafe nyinda agamba tati wano wawunya mu bitemu
kyabukule reform your government hire people intelligent people bali forming ekintu kyamu
enyindo tekyawunyiza temanyigenze bubiso
nawulidde omuwala nemba sekerera omuwala yagambye nti nawandikidde Biden ebbaluwa because mbamanyi mube mukola katulututtu omwana fe tumuyita mwana wakikubuuka otegerera kuweza tenjeje because there is an American Afro meeting in December tebagala Museveni agende and this is basically did basically agende Kenya as a blind man because Museveni had been invited kakati mwe intelligence ya mwita kulebyo no gamba nti omwale yawandikidde Biden ebbaluwa nti Museveni tajja nimugende wabe nimukwata baganda be
Mirundi
what type of security operatives are these bakube mu makomera ekitegeeza abo tebalina ekye bakuyamba
so omuwala
yes
yawandikira Biden
yes, I think Museveni tajja nebagende ewaabwe
Bahati Remi
ne bakwata abeewaabwe ate omuwala yabagambye be mwakutte sibange nibamuteeka ku radio ya Uganda ngaakaawo where are your strategists mwatukuba ne tugenda yefe government show me yes those who have delivered committed at the dedicated service to them they end up using mercenaries everybody who are using is a mercenary commitment yavaawo buli omumu mujoze
Katudeyo wano
buli omumu mujoze
kani
you are paying for your mujoze
kani Muhoozi Kainerugaba bikane Muhoozi
nakuandikira akatabo kankanne nkugamba
sokoli ngato ndagenda kitugenda kunjala kubuuza Museveni ensonga ya mutabani yagikutte bulungi
yes has recognized the contribution of Muhoozi in the army and he required a promotion but his conduct has apologized for it. He has done it.
Why didn't he tell his son to apologize with his own mouth?
I think kubuli n'ekyo nakyo kani Muhoozi wegewo when in Kenya Ufundi building was blasted by terrorists, Moi said no Christian can do this. Abasiramu ne bamulumba kani Muhoozi mekewo amini yagamba tigwe Habyarimana oyamba abanwanyisa naye bwe nva mu Uganda ku macha ekyenkya nkiri akigali yagamba Kenya nti gwe Kenya twakomanga Naivasha Kenya mobilized because he was capable of ordering a war. Rwanda the French sent their troops. Why? This man the president was talking but Muhoozi the problem is freedom yo
Muhoozi alone cannot wage war but as a command of the land forces he could
how he's under somebody that's why he has been disciplined and two don't expect it nonge kwankuba ne bunkwane bunnyonono ne bunkpa bayisengena bamukebera omuntu ne batulisinka ne kolubya ne kabusenga we kali gweramu okujoganga
oliriza tewali kyemwapanishize Muhoozi ti mwanange
ejogeri amawulire muli manya malisi eri mu mawulire temuliddayo kasajja gwe kuwandika ku bantu ne buwandika mu bantu ne bubonoona kati their stories are paid for. These are paid for stories.
Kati ekyo oyogera kuki
yes
tuli ku Muhoozi
ngoli kubushenga
oli kubukedde nze sibyendiko
yegundi yawe yokonoona abantu ne bakubakadaga ne bamufulumya ono gundi Kristo obole yali mu UPC ngafuma Museveni gwafulumya ebintu bya gundi he must come here muli bajozi that's why you have ended there muli bajozi n'abasirisi nabo bali bitter like me you are lucky
tuli ku Muhoozi
ati kugambye nti Muhoozi afunye kino si yakisoose is the nakugenti holomark situzibala I can tell that they are malicious they have been hunting him okutusa ne bamufunye kati bamukute is destroyed even people MPs opposition what ebyo mbimanyi bwe mukola mbimanyi ebyo bye mukola that's why abawestana bali malicious bote bamenye dogo I can tell it in rutaro rwabo
mbadde nsaba wandika akatabo ng'obudde wano how Siroganga politics destroyed Muhoozi how Siroganga
politics ne bwana abera mulala ne bwana abera mulala
Siroganga kamwa kabi politics destroyed Muhoozi
mbabazi yavuma Kenya Why did they fall out?
Yarwana na mukama.
Yes. If Muhoozi has fought his father, if was disobedient to his father, sigana mutadda. But I know, no mulala bajjamu wali wakuba abantu. Anete jekifuna. Kubanze mbalaba ngabatesa. Bagamba recent 2 weeks ago. Museveni failed to help us. They have an organic case. Bagala $1 million mutano. Museveni yagano zibo. Nebagati he helped only his biological son. Let us see. Nzembamba naba kubyuma byange. I watch them. This man is immature. We have been telling him, say, the boy is immature. He's not ready. We wanted to accompany him to Kigali. Why does he go to Kigali alone? It would have been a family matter. Where are you going to sell Carlo? Your house from right to Kigali. You harass somebody because of the achievement.
Omwana ono bwagenda Kigali yakola erinnya nga nti ajja kuba mulungi muzanganda
ate ekyokubiri
ayozezza naye nikamutaka very good
olwokwati bali strategic. When the president went to Kigali bamwaniriza n'okusinga Queen, what did that mean? It meant that Uganda and Rwanda, when Uganda went to Congo, did we target M23? And what was the purpose of the Congolese government to invite Uganda? Who was causing trouble in Congo?
Let me ask you, ngasoma public relations. Lwaki Muhoozi yennyini si yeetondedde Kenya? Lwaki Museveni nti genda weetonde?
Bulijjo agendayo, agenze Kenya yokka agenderera mutamiivu nga tatamirira walala. Museveni has handled the matter.
Ngamba apology eno lwaki si yagikoze? Museveni yeetonda on behalf of Muhoozi still believe in what he wrote.
Eno group ekuba Muhoozi ate mukwano gwa Ruto era bateeka n'okugenda omulabo. Kyobola nti era meeting Kenya Ruto aleme kujja waabwe bana balwanyisa Muhoozi. Mirundi Internal Security Organization is the most effective intelligence organization in Uganda. Next to ESO. Aba ESO bakola. Bana bateka obumundu mu maduka. So for me, I analyze the situation. To why Kenya? As they don't want they want to create a wedge between us and Kenya. At one time, they wanted to go to Ruto to ask for money. Museveni is about me.
So Mirundi, bwamala okuba mutabani wo ng'akoze ensobi kati nga bw'olina omutabani n'omala omukuba mu kibooko n'okwata emitwalo kuno gandi genda okuleka abalagala gwe awo oba omukuombonereza.
Anti nkubuulidde ne nkugamba nti Muhoozi
wamugobye n'omupromotinga
mugambe where Muhoozi loses the point nti tewali wazeegaanira.
Yes, and the president would, and I applaud him for being an honest man. One time, let me tell you, Moses Biaranga Bamukuba. Mutemanyi fitina eri musajja nkugambe waliwo omuvubuka dokita bwe bakolagana ne Museveni bagenda kusuula Museveni ebyo biri fake sibayi kutwala bizungirize ku mwezi kolaje ifo kutwala bizungirize ku mwezi is important. All the regions who else who has useless money to invest kakati omuvubuka kimanyi ati wulira bagenda mu biseera bya covid ne bategeera nti mu office ya Ruwanga mugenda kuyita Museveni bamuga nti alina covid ne mukubira esimu ne mugabya Ruwanga mbalaba wano if you accept to be tested bagenda kulimba Museveni bakugobewo ne bagenda mu office ya national chairman Museveni je yagabira egaali kwa busunga nakwata omulwadde wa TV wa mawuli wa New Vision ne bagamba nti alina covid mu office ne bagigala ba besend teri mulala alina kulya ku set bobo kabu obujozi bokka abala bajja ku bera mbwazaabwe. I know how these people operate. Very dangerous people. Because you are among them.
They need which could have yaba. No, Museveni. Emisango negita mugwako. No muwabire wamu. Ejongo li abasajja bano wikiro. Which could have yaka yaba soba. No, wikiro no libajjamu.
Which could have omukoze emyaka emeka.
Kubanga bajozi nnyo. Waliwo yajoka ayina emirembe. They have committed international offenses.
Okkiriza nti gwoloze banno yogere nseko oloze banno
tebaliddamu kujoga bantu
akkiriza olina boologa
bajja kuleeta sente
olina boologa
kakatidde kugamba
ogambye
eddogo olina boologa kati waliwo mukazi ali mu national office ya president waliwo essajja lyetutteyo mbu lyeronze ye deputy kuba manyi sente mukikubba ekisajja fulume. How can you appoint yourself? But era bakitaddemu kibbe. Omukazi bamutigomya. Waliwo omukazi ali mu Uganda Revenue Authority. Bamutigomya bamuli bubi. Be balina okuba ne ssente bokka. So I know this group. I know their hallmarks. Nasali atayina mwana. Tiyabbye miliyoni 3.5 n'abantu abalala 3 muli agonja n'amusiba. Nga abakoledde na handlinga gundi project yame bwe baali bamuwa omulimu agenda UNESCO ne bamuyola. Muli agonja singa nze yankwatako. Singa ali jinja lya kasasiro. Nali balazeeko.
Wandi baloze. Ologa. Ate obotu.
Webiri mbina misanatu.
Yes. Ologa bano.
Akupolize.
Ologa bano.
Jo abasajja nga bajja. Kwa baddeko former RDC bamuyita Kintu. Kintu ayina relative motoka ya mutomedde ya taxi. Ne bagenda oluli Kampala. Kubanga kuliko badaji ni motoka. Bateka kamanya gawe batyo zibba. Kakati the also odi Kampala n'abagamba. The problem we have emotoka ya Mirundi. Zisinza jikwata. You go to Mirundi and talk to him. They came. Ninkubira abavuzi bange bonna tewali yatomedde. Ne namba yayo tetujina. Nibo kimanyi tijizenyereho.
Semmotoka teyabadde yo.
Ninga basikali bagiti.
Nti ya Mirundi.
Gwenzi kulako lutalo bakukube. Bakukube jogo. Irrespective of your status. Ebyo bye mujoga abantu.
Ogambye nti
mali simujitusiza ne muba mu benyini.
Katumbulemu. Mirundi yakumewo ne dogolye ne kidoli politics. Kidoli politics. Kale kulika mukumula katono okyali muserevu ku the big story ku Baba TV ne Tamale Mirundi. Ebyobufuzi bya Mirundi bitegeere bw'oki manyi buli tuba tuyiga. Ebisooka babiyita kidoli politics. Ebiddako kazu politics. Ebiddako simanyi political
anakugamba
kati ate tulinawo
nakugandi kali Muhoozi bikamu Kainerugaba bikamu Muhoozi nekyo kugamba
waliwo abadambuuza mafia simwanga ngambuuza tekitegeerekeka abadambuuza nti what do you mean kani Muhoozi Kainerugaba bikame Muhoozi
anti Kainerugaba anti Muhoozi kitegeeza avenja kati avenja wa Museveni bamukubiye
Touch avenging.
Because an avenger must live longer. Yes. Namugamba wano. Nti muzeyo lese mutawani wone bamukuba. Ogenda kufuka nga kabaka yekka. Wendi go woyibwa. Atanga mwenamu good day. An avenger must live longer. An avenger must be more powerful than your enemies.
That's the mistake he made. Yes. Yagamba, I named him Muhoozi so that he would avenge. He's an avenger.
Kati avenger gwe bakubye.
Nganona achali.
Two, in order they are getting it clearly. You must dent Museveni, not again Mkungana, so that he cannot transfer. He will be seen like a Moi. Anybody Moi anointed, Yagua. They don't want Museveni to hand over to choose a successor. You first dent Museveni.
Then you go to the avenger.
Here we are saying. Era propaganda batugamba nti olulye omwana luba lunoonya nnyina. Olulye omwana. When you see people attacking your son, they are looking for you. That's the Muganda.
Era okumanya kyabadde kizibu nnyo.
Museveni bamutadde mu ango.
Emyaka.
Talina bwamuyambye.
Emyaka.
Si bbaluwa which you can deny.
It's a tweet.
Talina gamba singa bagambye nti waliwo yatu infiltratinga.
Eyakikoze
akozesa ezo. But because they don't have no hand, buli omuntu bamujoga n'adduka.
Ate ekyewunyisa mu byonna ky'oba oyogerako.
Tujoga tukoma muddemu mutujoge.
Ekigambo kuva mu kamwa ka mwami Museveni. We apologize. Nga Museveni yakyogera.
Confirmed. Yaligambye nti tutaddewo security gun because these could be Muhoozi's enemies. Let us institute experts to see whether they are his.
Muhoozi could have also said my handlers wrote.
Yeah, this is not mine.
But that would also mean
because
that we no longer respect what you write. Because once you say that, we don't know who is writing. Kandi Muhoozi become a Muhoozi.
I now come to my final submission. The Baganda say that among the destitutes, there is one who stinks most. Amazingly, the group that has been involved in killing Ugandans for export stinks more than the one accused of human rights violations under violations. Muganda also says it is better to survive with a crippled body than to die.
And
like Muhoozi, who was never directly involved himself in human rights violations, the killers of Ugandans for human organs.
Read that again.
Yes.
Read that again. Unlike
Muhoozi, who has never directly involved himself in human rights violations. The killers of Ugandans to one man to export their organs.
Not about men.
They are even bringing a law to regulate organs selling.
So
which means
don't say Muhoozi was never unless until the case is dismissed.
As
The case of
Kakwenza, victim Kakwenza managed to free Uganda and have liberty to speak out. Those killed for organs will never enjoy such liberties.
So Balabasatu, Kakwenza has spoken. Stella Nyanzi has spoken. Remy Bahati has actually written.
Do you trust Stella Nyanzi who stripped herself naked in a muntu? Why do you dress now? It's only in Uganda where such a people are valued.
You mean anybody who strips naked?
Yes.
Is a fool.
He's a fool. Yes. To a woman to expose her body. No man a baby must have nappy. A woman at the university level. I told you, Mukazi Mumanyi, you're in any business in the message.
I know.
Cable business in Jimani, Mukazi Mukazi. What amazes me,
don't read this.
What amazes me is that President Museveni has failed to protect his son from such damaging accusations peddled by close members of his family. Museveni is overlooking the following important factors.
Wakawandika mu naku z'omwezi luwayi. 2 days after.
In conclusion, President Museveni should know that a king without children does not have a future. Museveni should ensure that his avenger must live beyond him. Also, the Sunday March, 2 days after Anita Amongi won elections as the new Speaker of Parliament. I dedicate this book to my daughter, Namatovu, who was killed at Albert Cook Hospital for organ harvest, and her twin is stolen. I have never let her down, and continue to pursue the killers up to ICC. Kakati tinakubuulira. Politics is science. Museveni failed to protect his son. He needed protection. He needed handlers. Even when this happened, how could you know that these are tweets belonging to me? Have I been addressing a rally? They did not give this young man an escape route. Why? They were determined to destroy him. And Museveni panicked. Because Bachi Mutadeko, Weba Mukola, Rachi Yarwani Renyo Nantaba. Lwaki alwanira omukazi wa Uganda Airlines? Lwaki alwanira omukazi ali mu national office chairman? Kakati gwe kasi omuntu amala okugamba onyimye ekintu ekyo kuba ndi musoga. Siri musoga, omanyi nti osakambinga. Ekyo nkimanyi. Ekyova ompala nandi musoga. Waliwo omukazi wano nga bamuyita gundi.
Kiringa gwachalo wala nabesi kuba ina amaanyi. Akusinza popularity ayina abantu bamukiririza musochi kuluma
nga bamuyita bakojja. Balwana ne Semakula Kiwanuka nga bonna bali media maniacs. Semakula Kiwanuka ikyamani makindi kana akabalanga kanoonya abantu era kabatabula. Naye Semakula Kiwanuka bababuuza nti lwaki mulwana n'omuwala ono. Kako kabakojja ne yansaba bye sisobola muwa. Omusajja omukadde. Yasirika busirisi. Kali kamaze omukuba. Kakati Museveni bamutwalidde ekyo omwana we. Ngatayina Kenya. Nebatwala ki bana abasajja oluto bamuyina abasajja bano nze president yangambe mu recording za video nga bakipulaninga
Mirundi Saabalwanyi yetonze he humbled himself and apologized.
What your chance of investigating?
Yes. Finally
abaganda bakugamba ndikwata n'empayo nga wasikira musikire ogw'omwana gunde bukanyanga ko omwezalira. Why do I defend you no man? Ayagala abakadde. You think I'm a happy man?
Mutabani wo.
Hey. But I defend him in public, no? I reprimand him in private. Ndina ye. Sinza mulekera abantu. I defend him. Ejambi wagala kujinja pyo bakadde. Kawagalire ku bakadde. But I tell him tujja kufuna bandi.
Awagalire ku bakadde. Ali
ku bakadde.
Ali tukakuba pia.
Baje kutuka. Yesu bwana amanyira abakadde. But you think yenyi nali happy.
Lwaki tomwega nga siwo.
Kasisobola.
Adaza ti omwana wa Mirundi kofe mwana wedda.
Ye Muganda tell you. When they come to arrest somebody no ganti bwe bali jokukwata ndi wayo bwi kitegeeza wasikira musikire. Izo tiyobali jiko
si mwana wo
bwaba naye ogw'omwana gundeebukanya
oyo wo
you defend your son at all costs which Muzeeyi failed to do yatidde mangu because of the media gund kakati nkugamba nti
yagamba nti obukolwa bukulidde
naye nsesemeza obukolwa
naye obukolwa butandisa omulya
ati bulandazi
olaba obukolwa bumulya obukolwa butandise
kati Muhoozi yeetaaga abawummule kuba kakati ye kyaliko agenda kutandika ngenda kukola
atugambye nti katuli baddembe okwogera ebyobufuzi nga bwe twagala
nanti era you were son of the president
kitegeeza ye tanda retreatinga
you must retreat. You see, when you are pressed,
so can talk to him.
When you are pressed,
Sebo afande Muhoozi. Can you retreat a bit so humulemu katono?
Humbleness is a cardinal principle in politics.
That's why I say.
If your enemies are paying for your political blood or political status, remain humble and humble yourself.
That's why I thought that an apology from him would have been more meaningful than one from his father. The father would have come later.
You humble yourself. You humble yourself. Let me give you examples. Kayihura raided Major General Muhoozi home, turning sugar wood. Mukazwena mugambo boli musajja mu amanyi genda okubekoni. What did Muhoozi do? Muhoozi put on a brave face, went to Luzira, and was about to bounce back in politics. He humbled himself. Even when he was facing a sense of motion, Bamu from Kamana, Maui Yakuma Muhoozi. Mukwano makes it soap.
Now they meet in
Bundi makes it sugar. What do you do to get that money? But Muhoozi sat
now the two of them are in cabinet.
In parliament, yatuuka n'okunona Kiggundu n'ajjayo petition. Muhoozi fought and Kutesa fought. But they are determined.
Of course, the background of Muhoozi.
Kakati,
Moses Sali. Humble. It's not the background of your
son. Moses Nabagama and Moses Sali arrived at Entebbe International Airport in a cargo plane with the Land Rovers. Nagaba Museveni, you have killed, no apologies. But I saw him in Rubiri. Ngabamutwala kuyimpala house, Taina Sen, Taina Sad, Bamukwata from State House. Yaina Kapopula, Ngabakaita Kaiti. Moses Sali doesn't know me until I helped to get in the Suba prison. He doesn't remember me. Even in the Suba doesn't know it. Kagati, Moses Sali humbled himself, Abadechi. What about Kaboyo? Kaboyo is a close relative of the president, Yaita First Lady Sengawi. But when the people saw Kaboyo carrying her mattress to Luzira, Bamudamuji, he's a minister now. Webiakoma.
She had humbled
when
herself.
Your enemies want you to be humble, humble yourself.
Can you now?
When you are placed between a rock and a hard place, shrink.
Can you now advise your son to humble himself and rehabilitate himself? You never know.
You humble yourself. Nti Uhuru and yakola mistake. Raila Odinga bayali abatwale Hague. They traversed Kenya for what they called prayer rallies. Nga bafukamira buli omu n'abasabira. Laba omusajja w'ettima. Omwana wa Kenyatta n'amufukamisa. It has backfired on Odinga. Gabugo in Ivory Coast was removed from a banker naked with his wife. Has he been killed? Eventually was surrendered. They met this man. Again, why? Humbling. Bemba was arrested and taken to ICC to police Kabila. Did he raise the issues? Kakati ya hilo Odinga abadde yewana aleta amaanyi yabagambi ICC jakutukwata yagamba nti koti eveewo. There are times when you are humble when your enemies are paying for your future wound, you humble yourself.
When will you humble yourself? Now you yourself.
Museveni gave me money to go up with this. We shall never work together. Nange sinza kuva waffe ne mana myaka 14 nga nkolera government ne 10 mujumalawo. Nzireyo nga bwe najja ndi musiru. Nga nange ndizotinga kubiri. Nga namwe bibatakwanya. Paka nga mutasudde. Kugamba.
Takubuza yogere nti ologano okukyatula.
Nuclear weapon of a terrorist. He blast. Mayembe. Nawe nikakuzunza mu nikakuleta emisanga egitagwa. Nobera humble. I saw somebody being humbled by a Canadian. You want $35 million? I'm ready to give it to you on 3 conditions. 1, it will be a loan. 2, stop harassing this Mirundi. Restore his programs. You made a mistake of using UCC. Ku video. Ebyuma byange bibakwata.
Ebyuma ebyo biri luddawa.
Byababula. Mwenda yandabako mu motoka y'ekyo kimanyi. Mwenda bwe yanawo friends. Ye my pleading gun. Omanya baganda baganda kuva mu ngabo it is after fight. Kati Russia will respect the Ukrainians. Mwenda yandaba mu motoka ye. Nambuza you man. Where did you enter my kane mugandi where you started? Na panicking. Lakini kulanga panikinga nenjivamu. Nalaba nga nsalo lugudo. Najikuba ekyo. Bamuleta mu dwaliro nandaba. The man is there. The man is there. Ngali wanda. Ask Mwenda. Bande ne bavuga nti omusajja otya muti nti nedda. Omusajja namulabye.
So ologabano.
Omusajja namulabye. Chairman n'abagamba nti nedda. Aba abasajja gye bali. Abalomba bali babayina. Who used to go behind the enemy lines?
Mirundi.
Omusajja ne bamuwa sente milioni 10. Ne bamugamba nkube essasi. Omukuba nkumba kuba kumi ba. When nadde wakane mugane eno meeting yojira bakusubiza milioni 10 nkube ekiro naye nawe bakutte evidence ebule ne mubuuza ali mu nyumba omwalaba TV omulaba ndi yani nti yegwe ate gwoyogera naye yani nti yegwe have you seen any of my sons entering my house? No. Kubako omulabe kati yakubako omu ani gwokuba
so ologabano
nina powers zange you attack me nga bakukuba
abani
bajininze amwekaliya nze ndi container tuyini wano nkugamba wano
the big story
nkugamba
on Baba TV Joseph Tamale Mirundi.
What amazes me is that President Museveni has failed to protect his son from such damaging accusations peddled by close members of his family. Museveni is overlooking the following important factors. The allegation make it possible for Muhoozi Kainerugaba to be a allegation. Can these allegations against Muhoozi make it possible for Muhoozi Kainerugaba to be a Muhoozi in the future? The avenger must live beyond the one he avenges. The Kabaka Yeka people coined a slogan, meaning that they will never abandon the Kabaka in danger. And they will die with him, meaning there will be no avenger. Kubanga buganti woli gwa wende gwa. Kitegeza fenna tugwa wamu.
Oli olugwanga nawo.
Kitegeza tuina
no one remains standing.
Yes. Mutesa bamulimba. Woli gwa wende gwa. Kitegeza
mwenna
mugudde. That was a Kabaka Ikasolo Gadi, but the people did not analyze it. Mutesa did not analyze magulu nyondo. Magulu nyondo. Obeta atali magulu nyondo wa magulu nsa. Ya mtu ale mitsinde. Era kyobola. Nti abayo pisinde.
Mirundi tonse samanga nyakulira. Tonse sakunsonga.
Nabagambye nti fetogera musimirizi. Omwana omuto baby nga mulenzi n'omutonera jirita. Nti oli merebirevu maze nyina akuga nti oli mulogo. Omwana omuwala n'omutonera pads. Nti oli zikozesa maaso eyo nga baby nyina agamba oli mulogo. Because it is inconceivable, it is far away. UPC supported the Mengo to have the Luchiko elect MPs to the National Assembly. Ben Chiwanuka, as they are doing now, Ben Chiwanuka said, no, we shall not use the electoral college. How come? Why do these people take away our franchise? UPC supported the Mengo. Today, what has changed? UPC is complaining about electing MPs in the parliament. What's the difference? It's a difference of years and the changing of situations. Chiwanuka today, the UPC is arguing like Chiwanuka. If the Ruchiko, with the support of Oboti, sat down and elected the 21 members of Ugandan in 1961 to the national parliament, what is it now? Yes, the parliament that was elected by the people like the Ruchiko in 61 is the one that is electing the other members. Raise the other they will say.
Mirundi, parliament goes to recess today.
That's so called in day. Undermining Muhoozi. Udira. Undermining Muhoozi means undermining Museveni, because to implicate him for committing atrocities, you would be sanctioning his father. This also means choosing him as an avenger will not materialize. For Ugandans will fear an extension of Museveni's rule. People will shun Muhoozi. It happened in Kenya when Uhuru Kenyatta lost the elections because he was seen as an extension of Moi's rule. Had to abandon Kanu and come out of Moi's shadow to win. Now that the future is bleak for the group trading in human organs, they plan to install a puppet leader who will not surrender them to Hague after it has become clear that Museveni will never support them and they are losing the case. This also means that they will fight tooth and nail to ensure that Muhoozi is also indicted in order to get their own people out. Luckily, they control the media, which Muhoozi does not have. For 8 years, the New Vision and the Monitor have not mentioned the real people behind the organic case. Never come Muhoozi. No, you are Jagala wabukede opopola kwa Mungu kudembo mpandikeko mpandikeko munsange mu nyumba ya mwinga ne mukazi wangu obusirusiro bwama ule bumpandikeko ndo mulitegeera
musoke mujjo Mirundi ave kubamale soko mujjo ave kubamale dukomewo so joliko jokyalaba program the big story buli lwa kusatu sawa 3 buli lwa kuna sawa 3 paka 5 atenga tukikudiramu ekiro ku sawa 4 ezekiro ogoberere tubalichogerako Joseph Tamale Mirundi njagala tumalize Muhoozi
kategedde
yes
what I predicted has come to pass namugamba nti president tayambi mutabane we amid a lot of hostilities tamuyambi era nze ringa manomunga nti aveyo I fear that he would be assassinated,
but in this case you cannot blame Museveni. I think because this time
where you blame the president, he acted as a person when intended to an empire. Maybe he was fed up. Maybe Museveni was fed up. Maybe he did not consult. Maybe he got a phone from Kenya.
Katuleke Muhoozi tugende kubirala
phone from Kenya.
Batuyogera kuba namwandu ne bamulekwa ba Bobi Wine yalese.
But a security team. If my tape was fake, these people are saying I'm playing fake tapes, and I acknowledge. So in a situation where people, Madison has gone to social media, we would have insulted a commission.
So you acknowledge that your tapes are fake.
And Iramba Gamba was the fake. First own them. He has to apologize. He has to come to kneel before me.
He plays
me
fake.
To kneel before you.
He plays
a
fake.
A man to kneel before human being.
Don't say never.
What I need is
Sabalwanyi humbled himself and said sorry. You will also apologize.
I have battled these people for 10 years. One of the people who fought to me, I helped. They had to solve it. Nemuyambi to solve it amicably. The cinema bina come. Ntegera, what did you want to achieve? They mishandled me. But it was a young to call with a joke and never can you in China. I did not apply to the civil service. I came Najakuramwana, Vamutwa Munasari, Chislunganzirayek. Najakurunda, Bikola Mukompound, go to Mutinga Zirai. Did I originate from the civil service? Najakuram 7 years. tompa mulimu mulala
wajja kulera baby
najja kulera mwana
bwakula
n'atandika nga ntema nzira yewange nga kuba siri civil servant
tewajja kubeera awo toli wa family
no I'm not a civil servant I do not apply for a job
obadde oyera lujja naye omuti ogukunkumula ebikoola bagutemye
kugamba look here when you are fighting with your husband and you want to separate if you lose the battle in the matrimonial room and you go to the sitting room, you are a visitor. When he pushes you to the boys' quarters, you are now a samba boy. When they push you to the chicken, a sack of charcoal, you will end up in the toilet. Once you lose the battle here,
so the battle must be in the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
That remains a marital war.
Yes. Any change
when it goes to the
from
sitting
the
room,
bedroom,
to the sitting
you get
room.
a new title. You are in the sitting room. You are a visitor. In the boys' quarters, you are shamba man. In the kitchen, when you are sack of charcoal or firewood, you will end up in the toilet. The miracle children, the miracle. My last appointment and the first appointment was that. Seen appointment in that. I'm looking at this.
So you prefer us calling you former presidential press secretary than telling you as director New Vision because you said they posted you there.
Why don't you go home? These people nabagamba bana basajja nembagamba ti omusajja yali mu muzikiti
ekyuka ne programs ebajjeko lwaki towumula
omusajja yali mu muzikiti nga akusoma kutuba abasamba jita kutuba abantu bonna ne bafuluma omuzikiti kakati bwe yamaliza n'amugamba you tell me what wise statements have I made to keep you here when everybody has gone yamugamba toyina all what you have been saying is rubbish but you stepped on my musala I was waiting for you to step off my musala and go. Is these people are stepping on my musala? I want money to go. Tuyinza kumutwala mu bwavu nga najja kukola sente
ka. Toyina kyoyagalayo kirala kyokka.
Tekiriyo.
Naye balinye ku musala.
Ku musala gwange.
Olujjako ekigere.
Ndinokoma wongere bajoga because they are seeing me. Tebamundabangako gwe bajoga n'atadda. Ate nsigala ngamba kolera informal. Bagaba sente bakusira batwala sente.
Buli gwe bajoza zeeyo.
Yes, buli gwe bajoza zeeyo.
Nze bewunya no bewunya.
Buli gwe bajoga ante bo baamanyira. Nkoko nzungu tesobola kuleta.
Buli gwe bajoga ddayo.
Buli gwe bajoga ddayo. Kati they are seeing a different character.
Balinye ku musala.
Nti sajja kukolera mu government. My character tekola mu government.
Atosobola.
Tesobola.
Wewe balikichimanya mbadde ndoza bakimanya. No you cannot work. You are too cruel to be there.
Sikulirangako mu organized structure. Mbadde nekola ebintu byange. Ntia kati abunye omwenge. Akoze eki. Kati bwenjaga lukufuwa kumacha ngufu. Ate bali wesimu egenda kungamba.
Teri agana mwenge go.
Apana ngufuwa. Ngono n'omugaga. Omwenge gwono nabavu. Onywaki nayo teriyo. Neka kirabo kankolera. Neka awala. Owedde. Nywa kimu. Omwenge tekono nanga kumugagga. Togunywa nkube ejjati agula agenda kudduka.
Buli okubawo gwonywa.
Mwavu.
Okay.
Mwenge gwayino nadde omugagga.
Mirundi.
Yes.
Kale katumalize human rights record. Obadde ojogerako.
Yes, I told you.
Ya drone.
Drones.
Bobi wine nti drone is so kwala.
Why do you use drones? Why do you fear to identify? Museveni said in 1986, mwenye bintu bibakwatirayo. Nti Ukuru yagamba Odinga, you will buy more tablets for ulcers because I'm going to rule for 10 years and you will rule for 10 years. He forgot about it and supported Odinga. But the statement remained there.
Obama yali ategeza you root for 10 I've root for 10 years root for 10 years.
Tujja kufuma tujja kufuka ko. Bamba le strategies zimu bamba le ties zimu. Obama n'agamba nti Trump cannot become a president of USA. Having been a president of USA for 8 years, hosting a talk show like Muwanga and ruling America at different issues, he surrendered the power to
Biden.
President Museveni yagamba chache yagamba timunabya kufuza bigambo byayogera tebikozinga gundi causing stomach pains. But good, please. The president said, "Tiempiso yabulanga mu family yaffe nga n'emifaliso nnyaffe atugamba ne tugifuula tunoonye empiso." How can a human being disappear? That was Museveni. He said, how can a human being be put in a cupboard? Museveni 86. You rape a woman, will shoot you.
Museveni yes.
What is going
Museveni ono gwe tulina oba waliwo omulala?
There is a subterfuge in government because omutego gutta baana bawaka bokka. That's why if mu Baganda omujjwa is an important pillar in a family. Omujjwa it comes from ekiziba word omujjwa ayijula enjo. Omujjwa tabeera affected na bibamba bya family si mwana wammwe. Era omujjwa bw'abuuka mukazi wo ng'amutwala tomuddamu. Kakati omujjwa yasala bakojjabe ku migwanga beetuze kubanga yesi waawo tebimukwatako. Abajjwa jjajjaabwe bwafa bamwetikka bumutabawa ssente bamutwala ku baliyo site. When you marry bajjajjaabo bajja ne bablocking omulyango nti nabo bajja bamukasi bagenda kukiriza kwasa. You must dish out money. That's our culture. Nti omujjwa ye is treated separately. Kakati yagala okubuuza, I believe nti guno omutego guno omujjwa afudde. Even the mujjwa who is not supposed to die omutego okukwata family mu Uganda naye afa. Tinono government, the government, because the government they use state inspired violence, it targets the opposition. But in Uganda it's very unique. The mujjwa who would be spared by omutego is also has been killed by omutego. Nti Katumba Wamala, his daughter, is he Nup?
No.
Kawes, is he Nup?
No.
Kirumira, is he Nup?
No.
The innocent girls were killed, are they Nup?
No.
The people who have died in hospitals where their organs have been harvested, are they Nup?
No.
Kitegeeza guno omutego. Guno omutego gwa kika kirala. UPC degenerated to such a level. Why? The moment UPC split into factions over the success level, but UPC Buganda, UPC Science, UPC Syndicate, UPC Mfungulo, UPC Nkomba, Jinja Iganga Kamuli, Ruyagwira. Kirunda Ruliza Kirunda natandika okutambula ne detention orders nasiba abantu mu busoga. Nga obeta sobola mukola ki?
Mukwata.
Muwanga nga bwakukwata towona. And Muwanga hired thugs. They are hiring now. At one time, Muwanga put abamajaba nabateka eruzira. Obeta went at night.
So why is Museveni, a known respect of human rights, keep quiet now? Kuba asirise.
Anti nkubolira.
Bamunyiza neta kyogerako. Babadde kanti Bobi Wine yogera bitaliyo. Bobi Wine yalese bannamwandu ne bamulekwa nti fe wano n'ebifaananyi by'abantu tumulaba n'ono.
Is Bobi Wine using the same vigor to pursue those who killed his driver in Arua? Does Bobi Wine pursue people who beat him up at his nomination? Does Bobi Wine pursue the police woman who stopped him from entering his paid room at Kiriandongo? He is selective. And this was intended to damage Muhoozi. To the military who was commanding the military. The intention of that is Iraqi. Tali indicted, the bigambo, which were handled, the situation was badly handled. But they wanted him to be indicted. Ndiye nanyini gundi. Bagamba tiso drones and narweiso. I told the work never paniking mu meeting here. People saying that I'm the one who is behind these drones. Museveni bamulimba mu meeting nganda babwe. Bajja ne bakola ekikwate kyabo. Era nga bano Muhoozi ne bagamba nti abanupu bakala kwokya ekibuga. Byava mu security organize. Bahead nga era bano Muhoozi na kuliya sente. Kakati bagandi bakala kwokya ekibuga. Museveni told them.
Bwebo ekibuga bo babeera wa.
I even had.
Abanupu bwebo ekibuga. Bote babeera mu kibuga.
Na statement eyo nga Saraji kola. Museveni said, if these Bazukulu of mine wanted to burn the city, make a preemptive arrest. Don't harm them. Tufune ekifo we tubateeka to rehabilitating. I had Sale echoing the same thing. These boys need rehabilitation. But the whole thing was done by security people. It was fake. Challenge me, I play the tape.
Mwe tape zo buli muntu wabeera banaka recordinga oba omu recordinga
ngoloza bantira ki nzo omusajja baatuula mu Kisugu County Club kutukirumi ngambala omusajja bamuyita Kalancho nakuba essimu. We are ready. The advance team is already there. Ngambala be wange nava wange nemba kubira n'ejjambo nga nabalabye ku video. Kalancho nakubira omusajja essimu yateera nkakukubira namane namugamba una has checked out namugamba this is what he normally does. He hires two groups. When another kills, he doesn't. But why don't we bring Kanyankole from prison? Ekitegeza bavayo. Nibaga sobi tetugenda mukozesa. Sobi akaliye yekka. Where is sobi? Sobi was brought to purpose to destroy Kayihura. Where is sobi now?
There was someone called Sobi.
Yes, aliwa. Yali mu benz motoka za manyi yajja kuba Kayihura. Where is he? Use your malice. Malice ye mumujeyambisa.
Yes, he was my friend. I remember meeting him and talking to him one day.
Nga abasajja bamaze n'okutuuka ewaka Kalancha abanze mundu mbalaba. One of the generals, my friend, yanga ntosula wone muganja kusulayo. I've already got the information. Nenkubira Maria, sister wa president. Nemuga have evidence here.
Kalancho is looking for me.
They want to kill me. Kakati ndozo era nembabulya nti gundi yabirimu. Babamubulya na shirinkinga. Omusajja yamugamba, don't kill that man. Nga mulaba mu meeting. You kill the spirit, the idea will remain there. Nga mugamba tutamusajja. I was watching it. Kagati bwe badeployinga awaka. Baba lumubulira oli nti omusajja abaguddemu abirina. Abiyina abakutte ku video. Kalancho yabaga nti mumpe million yaka. Ku Katumba amala basaba millions of dollars. Biri. Kunacho bebasaba lukaga. Who was this man? Nze basasula atano. Bwe batakola mulimu obawa
50 million.
Bali basabye 10. Kagati ne banalizinga. From Kajansi to Chibuye, waliwo 5 patrol vehicles. They can respond. This man is guarded by military police and the police. Military police will move in. We don't have silencers. Nkakulagenga batudde bwe bati.
Baplaninga kutta.
Mwenda yabagamba nti omusajja alina majini ge gatulondola. Bali bagati mwenda yaketta. Nti mwenda yaketta. Nti professor nabagati nedda. Omusajja ono ffenna tudamijinga equal. Ekitegeeza ate ne bagamba nti twalabye Museveni ngajja CD aziteeka ku modern machine. Omanyi abayita n'azibakubira. That's not your voice. Kye bakola kyennyini. Chairman we waffe bagala bakubeka solo. Bamuteekako omukazi omwera omuto nti alina olubuto bamusibe. Bagala kutunda sangobbe. Kasolo ng'akyagaanye. Chairman we waffe ne mukubira esimu ne mugamba nti waayo. Bwana Kisekulo tie ku simu ko inako million ezi. Togula simu wase mbuzi nganze tompadde. Mwine gye mwejjese. Kasolo was going to be arrested. Era batto omuntu bamusuula mulale. Bonna baga arrest Kasolo. Nga bagala kutunda ttaka ly'essa. That's why they are very malicious. Kasolo ali nabo. Wemba sasi bintu bamanyo nenga kujjamu. Tetuddamu kukolagana. Kakati Kasolo batto omuntu bamusuulamu. The policemen came from Lakai, sanctioned by the DPC. Ne bagende nakatogo ne beyanjula. Batutumye okutta omuntu wano tumutire mulale ya Kasolo. Kakati omusajja Kisekulu namu yagamba. Kasajja kava kalagala eyo bakayita Mirundi. Niyo bakayina biteego babidandi. Buli kyenjogera wano kakiraba. Buli kitukola wano kakiraba. Munne namugamba tekayina bidandi. Museveni yakawa ebyuma by'Abachina. Nga n'Abachina nabakuba. Tebakola zoom one nejikuba. And you see, this is why you don't know diplomacy. It was unwarranted for the Chinese ambassador to come now defending a project. or a pipeline in Tanzania again also the Chinese ambassador to Tanzania and here with them. This Chinese ambassador, because of amatörism, not observing diplomatic how we do things, is going to escalate the matter into a Taiwan American something. So leave with the matter to the Ugandan government to hire people who can defend the project.
Anya is okubanga akosa zi drone zino. Anya drone za police za ISO za
police Ghana na kugamba ti waliwo abali machuwa who are thinking about their future. Kati these people have been rotated to bebatamanyi. Government is running away from responsibility. Nga Katumba bwe yadina yinga responsibility ko bulwi lwa mumbere. They are there. Waliwo obuli ayo mulala okujja kerero. Nti abasajja abagezi nga bakayima. Abasajja abagezi nga bakasinje tebogera nanga byayogera. They have a future. Enanga y'abaana bya bawayo ne bukedde. So if the government fears to use the normal structures, it resorts to hooligans. Kubanga omupolisi kankubulire omupolisi bakwakwata omuntu alina okuyingira mu bitabo kakati bano babatwala mu safe house.
They identify and
that's why records. You have a disparity in lists. Don't continue omusajja abayina kapa handi fwe mu Baganda tukugamba nti if you quarrel with somebody and you injure him in the process, you cannot win a case against the injured one. Bobi Wine abasinziza amagezi nti namba jayina mwe mwadimitinga dajje jodo nalwesa admitted fetu bayina we have ekitegeeza mwe mwadimitinga babatta. The moment you took responsibility munnamu abakoleramu n'abakola ki
nti fetu balina
mwe bayina obamanyi
bali ludda
baliwa
so be mwaga nti mulina baafa.
Yes, babatta
kwe kuleta bannamwandu ne bamulekwa nti baaba
yakimanyi kubanga the first person to talk about negotiations was Bwanika. How do you negotiate a list which you don't know? Bwanika has disappeared like a gonorrhea. Ekitegeeza babakoleramu bammwe nti nakugamba nti Bobi Wine yafuna ku message ngemuga nti Mayinja akomawo to spy on you. By the time Mayinja arrived at Bobi Wine's place, Bobi Wine had received the message. Airanga Bobi Wine and told him, if you go to Kayunga, they are going to assassinate you. He said, I'm aware, but I will go. Ekitegeeza Bobi Wine yalina ki? Mulimu abakoleramu n'awa Bobi Wine. Nti Bobi Wine has proved. Nalebye bwabukedde nga buga nti Bobi Wine ne Jamiru Mukulu. When Jamiru Mukulu was taken to court, yagamba atya? Bobi yagamba atya? Yagamba nyina. Gamba abaana bange ne mukazi wange mulonde Nuupu. Before the elections. Kakati Bobi Wine kimugana okumuwagira ate nti nabayambeera. Bobi baali bagamba nti bwe bahanginga Jamiru Mukulu ne bamuhanginga ba minister aba bagenda kusala mitwe nga baweereza Museveni. When I alerted them, when I alerted Katumba Wamala, he said I was a conman. Mboni nebizibu bingi. Bamubuuza musajja kubidde simu nti is a conman. Nti Mirundi sikutabanga ko conman. Nti awaya ayina ebizibu bingi, but I don't know. Abo nababuulira ba minister. Nankabira yagenda kumpaabira mbu ajinga kutte gwompe ekyenkuki. Abala atendiyo ero buze Lumumba. Nitebu ne sidi na jimu wanti baba. Asiki Lumumba. Bali bamwishima okwata ku Jamiru Mukulu bali basale emitwe eki.
Lumumba waffe.
Mubuuze ne sidi ajira.
Gwe bali batwala. Kati atenga yakoze eki. Anti
baagamba nti Kasa Museveni ahanginga Jamiru Mukulu. Lumumba yali agenda, Nankabirwa yali agenda n'abana ababiri. Bali basala bana. Baweereza Museveni omutwe. Uganda asiki Lumumba. Oba Samuel Sidi. Nti abasajja bawulira bwe bakogerako omutwe gwe bagwagala.
So, Bobi Wine y'obugumu buno bwonna abujjawa.
Waabwe. Anti nkugambye.
Ate nga waabwe yaleeta bannamwandu.
No. The intention is to discredit Museveni.
Ate owaabwe asobola
mulimu faction. Waliwo faction egamba. Tukiyita gradual socialization mu politics. You don't lose the power once. Museveni mumwetikule.
Naye nga bali munda mu ye.
Era nabaga nti Nuupu omugaso gwayo gwali gwakuleeta ababaka ba parliament Museveni baatayita naye nga babe tukiyita leverage nti when you want to lose power gradually you invest in the opposition kati waliwo group eyinvestirize mu opposition nti ono Museveni bwayiika
FDC yaliwo nga already lwaki bakikola neeyo
FDC we yagira bamatembe baani Museveni was strong kati they are looking at a post Museveni period nti bwoba mulwadde nga bwe nalwala lwampa okutwa olumayi wayuzibwe yabeera bakubuuza gwe wali luddawo omwana nga kitaawo alwadde gwe nga tewalabikako kakati these people planning a post Museveni scenario they cannot leave Museveni mu government baagala mu sente naye bamulirira muli kyobalaba nti buli Museveni royalist bamukuba it's very strange nga kiki kyenagambye ekitambo ekitta omujjwa mention Museveni nti abo nabo akusasira ekibakubya ogambe nti okwagira Museveni tofunamu
hasi kugamba naye bakyerabiddeko
ate bwoddayo
stories bawandiika kusasira amabanja bino
anti kikutegeeza
buli awagira Museveni tafunamu
nti oyo omanyi nabagamba nti Museveni baagala omufuula nga Katonda atta amuzimbidde omuzikiti n'azimbye ekereziya n'alekabo obwessabo kuba si bakasajja kewaffe kairifu ttatu kakaddi amanyo gaweddemu bafaaza be bafa
mukayita muta
erifu ttatu
kali luddawo
kali waffe tasula ku mufaliso naye osanga layini y'abantu basse ate gwe yafudde nga bwewagambye mwagizi ate gwe akyalemeddewo kwetonda tuukiriza emikolo okalaba kuntakasajja amaaso matwakavugwega tuyinza kati bagajja mu kapa kasinga chifu justice ne kooti ze ko tekayita abajuliza awe kusipoti so
the big story
we must analyze
Tamale Mirundi
in fact singa mu Uganda mubademu nabagambye
ezekiro
nti olaba na Amini
njagala kuwumba
mu magezi ge Amini yaleta wakakiiko mu 73 nga kakulirwa ali Toweri to investigate missing Ugandans and the committee submitted blamed the missing people to Tanzanian agents nti bajja mu Uganda ne batwala abantu. But even Amini instituted
so why
a committee.
is Museveni not instituting a committee to investigate Bobi Wine
No,
claims?
you don't need a committee. You need to strengthen the Uganda Human Rights Commission and to get brave
judges.
Anti bamanya ideology yaabwe.
Nsubuga yaliko mu police asobola okukola ekyo.
No si kyekikulu. Do they want it to function? Embo bagikuulamu amannyo. Tetubulangako bagezi wano. Nti Human Rights Commission has the powers, is an internal auditor of government. It can visit any area, include, and you write a report. Do they give it money?
But where does it report? If it reports the same government that is committing violations,
then Human Rights Commission would have access to the president. Until we have visited Ruzira, we must be notified about safe houses. And you are a Human Rights Commission is an internal audit of government. Before you come to
funded by government,
this is
where we go wrong.
Musala go kamilioni 18 omwezi nenga tebayine kye bagenda kola embwa bagikuddemu amanyi. True, they don't know what they do. Like the judges, if the constitution outlaws torture and somebody is brought to you from Narufenya with clear features of torture, dismiss the case, give him punitive costs, bamujanjabe atimana ndemo paleta ate basiru anti intalo zaabwe olowooza omusajja w'eruzira byamugese yasoma ina PhD asobola kuteeta omuziba wantayinza kukkiriza era babatwala mu ggwanika babatwala mu labu be bakubye okwonoona. Who can accept them even anosi toyinza kusanga musajja ali polisi nga weekibuye osi weekibuye katungi n'omugaa nti muleesa omuntu gwe mukubinga mumwononya agenda kufa fire mu ssero zange nze future those are police people kati balina kukozesa bagayaye agatamanyi future agatayina kyegalowooza but they end up denting Museveni's image. Omanyi omwana omugezi ku ssomero mwangu okutegeera nti kati atabuse era basomesa bakugamba what is happening to your daughter because aperforminga bubi. Kakati Museveni was hosted two popes, was hosted two American presidents, who has hosted the Commonwealth. It is now easier okutegeera nti akoze eki situation edikira ininze kuba sibwe yali we are degenerating into an abyss.
Story ne Joseph Tamale Mirundi yongera okutugobera ku mikutu gyaffe gyonna osobola okutugobera ku Twitter account yange @muyangalutaya ate osobola okutugobera ku mikutu gya Baba TV gyonna Baba TV program bajja gikutira mu ssaawa 4 ez'ekiro. Joseph Tamale Mirundi owa Kidoli Politics Kazu Politics era mukwano gwa Muhoozi Kainerugaba ennyo abuuza nti kandi Muhoozi Kainerugaba bikambe Muhoozi bwatu lwaliro bwatemetemye ebintu byosinkana ate kulwokuna sabiti ejja wabale kubeera naffe bulijjo
singa mwanda bano mubikola temwali kituuseeko
kati wali oyagala wandikoze Twitter
I've already raised
wandikoze Twitter zaabwe
fwe mu Baganda gwe tokimanyi naye badde omaze okusiibula Abaganda kabaka bw'aba omutamiivu ffe tukuga nti ate yalikoze eki bw'aba omwenzi nti afaanana Uganda bw'aba omukambwe nti ate ttembo
kale ey'olwaliro bwetyo bwegenze Joseph Tamale Mirundi bwatyo bwagimaliriza yongera okutugobera ku mikutu gyaffe tujja kusinkana ate olwokuna lwa sabbiiti ejja nze Simon Muyanga Lutaya.